All right, so next we have some bone marrow. We went ahead and charred some bone marrow.
Now, whose bones, may I ask? Bones of what kind of animal?
A cow.
Okay.
Beef.
Okay.
Beef bone marrow, full-size cow.
Yes.
We're going to serve that with a fig and balsamic butter, some pickled mustard seeds, little shallots, and fresh parsley. And that's going to go with the younger vintage of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Exactly. We've got the Encanto Cabernet, a younger vintage, but a delightful one.
Oh, it's wonderful. You know, when it comes to cabs that are aged just enough to start drinking, I think it's fun to put some bone marrow out there. I think the richness of the bone marrow and the brightness is really fun to put with a young Cabernet. So, you know, with bone marrow, you scoop out the bone, you spread on your toast.
Ah, there you go.
But we want to invite you with some nice sauce. This is a fig butter made from local figs.
Fig butter,
some
wow.
Sparrow Lane balsamic.
Unbelievable.
And we finish it with some European-style butter, so it's a little on the rich side.
It sounds great, and it looks great.
I'm going to go ahead and put your toast on there.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to remind you, you are actually enjoying some figs with some local Adriatic figs from the Cape Valley.
How about that? And what is this?
These are some pickled mustard seeds. Again, just to bring out those lovely young cab flavors.
So you don't overdo it with the mustard seeds, right?
No, they're pretty bright and flavorful.
Yeah.
For me, the parsley again really goes nicely with the Cabernet. Freshens it up, gives that green, and some raw shallots.
Wow. Now, you might not think of any of these items individually as going with the cab, but when they're all together in concert,
exactly,
they really go well with the Cabernet.
You try to marry them all together beautifully.
And we have broccolini over there.
Yes, what we're going on to next is we're going to go ahead and do some lamb ribs, and this is going with the older vintage Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ah.
So we slow cooked these ribs, slow braised them slow and low until they became very tender. And now we want to get that char. The Cabernet is very big, very rich. It has good tannins, very elegant. So we really want to balance and play with that. So we have some confit celery root puree. Confit means to cook in its own fat. There's no such thing as celery root fat that we know of.
Right,
so
I was going to ask you about that.
we use olive oil, some really good extra virgin olive oil from the Cape Valley.
Which is good fat.
It's good fats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just cook it slow and low with some shallots and heirloom garlic. Wow. And then we puree it and puree it and puree it until it's very smooth and very soft.
I can almost imagine what that tastes like right now. Sounds great.
And then we have some broccolini, which
there you go.
is one of my favorite vegetables. I think when you put a nice char on it, it really matches better with wine. It's one of those vegetables that, you know, it's from the mustard family at the end of the day.
Didn't you discover when you were cooking for President Obama that he loves broccolini?
He loves broccolini.
Yeah.
Broccolini, and spinach are his favorite vegetables.
Yeah, we're in good company here.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, all right, this guy and I can get along.
Yeah.
All right, so as you can tell, you know, nice and seared on the outside.
Right.
You probably don't want to touch it, but you can see how it is just tender.
Yeah, very tender. And
barely hold. In fact, the bonus comes
look
out.
at
So
that.
we're going to slide that right back in.
Wow, okay. Put that bone back where it belongs.
So
until we get to eating it.
Until we get to eating it.
Yeah.
So this is all rich, right? Rich, charred, rich. So we want to balance that out. So I made a really nice stone fruit mostarda.
Ah.
This has 3 different types of plums, nectarines, peaches, mustard seed.
Wow.
And lots of love.
Oh my gosh. I'm in love with this dish already.
It's really going to brighten that all up.
Yep.
And of course, because it needed one more thing just to bind it all together, we toasted hard some Oregon hazelnuts.
There you go. What a presentation. That looks fantastic. So, what are the various dishes we have here on the table now? We started with the octopus.
Yes, it's a charred octopus with some seared nectarines, some pea tendrils, and some steelhead roe.
Okay.
And that's going with the Sauvignon Blanc. We have the seared vanilla brine duck breast that goes with the charred fennel, some blackberries, and a lavender vincoto, and that's going with the Pinot Noir.
Right.
We have the bone marrow with the fig butter figs, a little bit of wild arugula, some toast, parsley, and raw shallots and pickled mustard seeds. Beautiful. It's going with the young Cabernet.
Right.
And with the older Cabernet, we have a really nice charred lamb ribs, going with some celery root puree, some charred broccolini, toasted hazelnuts, and of course the stone fruit mostarda.
Oh my gosh. Well, it all looks great, but right now my mind is fixed on the ribs and the Cabernet, and the older Cabernet. Can't wait to get there.
Of course.
You guys have done a spectacular job on preparing these dishes, and I think it's time to dig in. We should taste this.
Let's get to it. Sounds good.
Okay. And now, what everyone's been waiting for, we are about to enjoy the dishes that Chef Jon and Arbel have prepared with the great wines made by our winemaker Enrique of Encanto. So, Chef Jon, tell us again what the different dishes are and the wines that we are pairing with them.
All right, so Enrique is going to be enjoying the grilled octopus with nectarines in Steelhead Roe.
He seems happy about that.
That's pairing with the Sauvignon Blanc. We have the duck breast, the pan-seared vanilla brine duck breast with some charred fennel, some blackberries, and a lavender vencato with the Pinot Noir. Okay. I'm going to be really enjoying this grilled bone marrow with a fig butter, some wonderful Adriatic figs, some seared baguette, some parsley, some shallots with the 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yes.
And you,
yes.
VIP, the lamb ribs with the celery puree, confit puree, the broccolini, and the hazelnuts and stone fruit mostarda.
Sounds great. I'm ready. Let's begin. Let us begin. All right. I always like to point out to people who are interested in wine, curious about wine, but don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of wine, that you shouldn't be intimidated by the enjoyment of wine. Wine is made for everyone to enjoy, and you don't have to feel like you need to gain, an encyclopedic knowledge or start sommelier school before you can begin appreciating wine. Just go out and taste different varietals, find what you like, what appeals to your palate, and basically drink the wine you like with the foods you like.
Yeah, I always tell everyone just have an open mind. I have some friends that were getting out of, in college, were getting out of white Zinfandel and getting into red Zinfandel. So I was like, man, try some pizza. Why not?
Yeah.
Big pepperoni pizza.
Exactly.
And it clicked. They're like, yeah, you know what, that works. That works. And then they started trying with all their favorite foods, Zins and barbecue and all that. And being from Oregon, we put Pinot with everything, so we try to force that in there. But just drink the wine and the food you like, and try to remember the familiar flavors that you're used to when you taste the wine, and that's how you build your palate. But just be open and honest to yourself.
Oh, shall we? Bon appetit, I should say. Cheers.
Cheers.
Whatever the appropriate phrase is.
Encanto Vineyards.
Yeah, Encanto Vineyards.